Yo, it's your boy Logos, and I want to react to this video that I discovered through Asmongold because I think it's worthwhile talking about. It illustrates many of my concerns when it comes to leftists or social justice warriors that think they control other people with the way they talk, think, or consume media. And oftentimes these people talk about being open, being honest, being fair, and just wanting people to live their lives how they see fit. Also, at the same time, they will control other people's lives and way of thinking if it doesn't align with them. And I think those people are pretty crazy. And even if you're a leftist or a far right conservative, I think trying to control people is wrong. And if people want to do certain actions or not do certain actions, they should be able to do so of their own free will. And if you have an issue with that, sometimes it's worthwhile having a discussion or a debate about it. But oftentimes it's better to just leave people to live their own lives. You don't have to interact with everybody. You don't have to agree with everybody. I don't agree with most people. And even if you subscribe to me since the beginning or just now, I can guarantee I'll probably say something that'll piss you off now, in the past, or in the future. It's just the way it is. If you're a free thinking person, you should be able to just digest it, agree or disagree with what you believe, and move on. But these people really can't do that. And if you don't agree with them, they're going to try to make you agree with them. Whether it's through propaganda, similar to the Nazis and communists they tend to hate or, march against, or anybody else. These people are insane if you ask me. And this is why we need balance, conservatives and liberals. That way, if one side goes too far, you have the other side to bring them back to the middle. But let's get into it. I've been ranting enough.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here. So, on this channel, we cover any situation where localizers are catching an L. And in this situation, I have some updates where localizers are very satisfyingly reaping what they have sowed for the past couple of years. Now, I consider a lot of the work of localizers to be the equivalent of cultural vandalism. Okay, so
And okay, from my understanding, let me know if I'm wrong. He's saying the word localizers, but I think he means is like translators. So they're like translating into the local language that the Japanese media, whether it be anime, which is, Japanese cartoons, or manga, which is, Japanese comic books, when they translate that to English, German, or any other language, it seems that people are putting their own leftist ideas into it. Let's go further. I just want to clarify what he meant by localizer. Usually I see translator.
these people who are responsible for translating anime, manga, and alike
Yeah, there you go.
take too much liberty with their power. They have a power trip where they like to use their trusted position as a localizer to insert random political messages or random Reddit tier jokes or other things like that, or just poor quality translations. And they have lost a lot of trust of consumers who don't want this stuff. They want a proper translation. And instead of addressing these concerns, localizers have only doubled down and rubbed their nose in anyone who is complaining about this stuff. So here's a classic example before we get into today's story of how bad localizations can get. This is a classic one I show anytime it's relevant. So basically you have a translation of a scene from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid where Luca is basically saying, I wanted to wear something different so
What
people
the
wouldn't look
fuck?
at me. And in the localization, it says, oh, those pesky patriarchal societal demands were getting on my nerves. Yeah, quite the leap and bound in that situation.
It's oh damn, I waited a little bit too late. It's beyond a leap and bound. They are throwing their whole different words and whole different levels of intensity when it comes to the dialogue within these shows. I never watched this show. I do watch some anime like Jujutsu Kaisen. I might watch Hunter x Hunter, a little bit of Dragon Ball. Like I watch a good amount of anime, not a lot, like compared to other people. But I watch the sub version. I hate the dub. So I'm even more happy I watched sub now because I didn't even know about these people doing this stuff till this video. Pesky patriarchal societal demands. Like, come on, man. That's clearly not a typical translation. I've never seen anything like that before, and whenever I ever watch anime. I'm pretty sure Ram has never seen any of that stuff. He been watching anime longer than me. He was watching Dragon Ball and Cowboy Bebop growing up. I really didn't get deep into anime until like I was 20. So I'm more new to this stuff. But even then, he's never had no story like this. This is a new thing. And I said it before and I'm always saying it on this channel. People that was in college, protesting, marching, talking crazy, fighting people, acting like the world is ending because Trump or any other person got elected are now in positions of power, whether it be teachers or something small like this, like a damn translator, and they're pushing in their ideology onto everybody else. And they're so big headed, they can't even see that that's an issue. They're just like the same people they claim to hate. Only difference is they don't have the same amount of power those people have in their heads.
On my nerves. Yeah, quite the leap and bound in that situation. But today we're going to focus on reaction to this story right here. So, this tweet says the ancient Magus's bride, manga's return, gets simultaneous English release using AI translation. Now, this got a lot of people talking because they are now having a conversation about how AI should be used in localizations and translations for manga and anime. And despite the fact that the official account for this franchise would come out and say that this was human assisted AI, where AI was initially used and then human review was implemented after that, a lot of people got involved in this conversation of AI versus localizers. And as this is captioned, whoever wins, we lose. Because a lot of people acknowledge that AI translations have a lot of flaws. But at the same time, nobody is going to feel sorry for localizers because they have, for many years, exploited their position as a translator to do their own selfish things like putting in political messages and so forth.
If you have any information or context or additional examples of them doing this even earlier, like several years ago, like he just said, please put in the comments down below. Because I definitely wasn't aware of this. Because like I said, I don't watch the dub version of anime. Personally, I hate the voice acting, and that's the main reason why. It sounds kiddish, it sounds more childish to me, and especially the type of stuff I like to watch where it's very combat driven, intense story. I don't want people to sound like little kids. Even My Hero Academia, which was my first, not my first anime, but the one that really got me into anime, it's centered around like kids and teenagers being heroes, but the dub version is just too bad compared to the sub version when it's just the Japanese voice actors, and you can feel the passion a lot more. I'm more than willing to read the subtitles, especially if it's the honest, best, true translation compared to this woke stuff. So when it comes to AI taking their jobs, I don't care. You did this yourself.
So nobody feels sorry for them. People are sad that anime and manga fans aren't getting the best translations through AI, but at the same rate, the people suffering the most from that are localizers, and people are simply saying, you reap what you sow.
Exactly.
And you might have noticed this profile picture before. This is a famous, or I should I say, infamous localizer named Katrina. We have talked about Katrina multiple times on this channel, and despite the fact she has since changed her profile picture, this was an iconic one for many years. It was like the bat signal for bad localization, not only just bad translations from her, but also bad takes regarding localization and manga and anime.
It's such a, I don't know if you've seen that well actually. And it's like a nerdy guy with glasses and stuff like that. Like that's exactly what I'm getting from this profile picture of hers. Well, actually, if you look at it, do this way, this way, or this way. Like somebody that has nothing better to do than try to correct you and tell you how wrong you are in the most nauseating way possible. And oftentimes, it's really not much evidence based. It's like a lot of ego and their bloated up opinion of themselves. And I wouldn't be surprised if she has that issue.
Anime as a whole. Now, if you're familiar with her Twitter, if you even liked a tweet of anyone who's ever criticized her, you're probably blocked. She runs blockchains nonstop to deflect any criticism. But of course, you guys probably aren't surprised that in this situation, she had to get involved, making this quote retweet saying, I don't have words for how embarrassing and disappointing this is. Instead of paying a human to do a quality job, they're using AI to get a mediocre product for free. Is this how little they think of English-speaking audiences? Of translation? For shame.
It's obvious what she's trying to do. She's just trying to couple her own fear about losing her job because of her own choices and pushing her own beliefs. And she's trying to couple that with, people that just consume the anime itself without any bullshit or nonsense involved. Trying to make it seem like we're the same audience or they're attacking us as viewers because they don't want you doing that stuff anymore. But that's not the case. I'm not buying that. We're not on the same side. We don't have the same problem here, obviously. So that doesn't work on me. Of course, it worked on about 2.6 thousand people, but Those probably her followers. So those are people that she hasn't blocked. So of course they're gonna agree with the stuff that she says. But of course, when you have an echo chamber, you're gonna get people that agree with you. And that doesn't really mean anything if you ask me. I don't take your opinions or anything like that seriously.
And while she's saying for shame, a lot of people are saying you reap what you sow. Because, as this quote says, localizers, that's a new one, crying about being replaced by AI after decades of ruining Japanese media with outdated Reddit memes and their garbage political views. Reap what you sow. And that's exactly the sentiment. People just don't feel bad for localizers. They're the only ones who are absolutely foaming at the mouth over this story because they're losing jobs. And a lot of people say you reap what you sow because you have been pushing the limits. You have continued to do things people don't like. And despite consumers telling you we don't want you to insert political beliefs and stupid memes into your translations, they just keep doing it. And now they're paying the price for it and nobody feels sorry for them. Even if that comes with the price of having lower quality translations through AI. You're already dealing with low quality translations when you're dealing with localizers. So a lot of people say, hey, well, at least localizers are catching an L with this AI stuff. But yeah, here's a little bit of the greatest hits of Katrina. Someone must have screenshotted this from one of my previous videos about her. So she's been involved in a million different localization, let's say, controversies. She's responsible for the Big Brother translation. She's infamous.
Wish she could have zoomed in a little more, but I get it with editing stuff. Petition to ban the phrase, I don't speak Japanese. So I don't know what the phrase means, but from the collective Japanese consciousness. You're not even from their culture, their country. You're just a damn translator. And you want to make a petition to ban a phrase from their language? Are you high? Like, you crazy as hell trying to do that over here in English. I wouldn't be a fan of that. But the whole idea is even more absurd because you're not even from there. Like, just because it's just arrogance and ego. Arrogance and ego. Damn, I wish I could read what this top left one says. I know I didn't want to shove Nini into my beautiful subs, but when every fan and official translation, good or bad, stuck with Nini, you're going to piss off a hell of a lot of people. I wish I could see what the rest of this says so I get some context on that. So if you know, please put it down in the comments. This was one thing I hate about following manga and Young Jump. Every single issue has some hot babe in a bikini on the front, advertising those sexy photos inside. It's 90% manga, 10% gravure, targeted towards teens and young adults. It's so brazenly gross and sex. Oh my gosh, shut the. I wonder if she feels that way, but she'll also be one of those people that will shipped together. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what shipping is, but like saying that two fictional characters to be together. I wonder if she does that when she reads like manga and stuff like that. Because I don't know, I find it kind of weird how people want to say, "Oh, I really want these two manga or anime characters to get together," especially when they're like really young. I just don't get it, and especially when it comes to like certain ones like My Hero Academia, people do that stuff, but I just don't get it. But it'd be funny if she does do that stuff, but then she has an issue with a picture of a woman in a bikini on the front. If it hurts you that much, don't watch it. Don't read it. You don't have to. It's not for you. Clearly, it's doing something positive in terms of advertising or revenue because they're doing it over and over again. So it's not about you. I know the translator and they done their homework on this series, reading future volumes, consulting with trans. Oh my god. Just translate it, consulting with trans. Who gives a fuck? And work hard to make sure it's as accurate as possible. Shame on those listening to one rando trashing it. I fully support this translator. I think I turned my child friend into a girl. What the fuck? A charming LGBT plus rom-com manga guy's secret love of cosmetics. His buddy's makeover. The surprising results for both of them. What the fuck? What the fuck? He gives his friend a makeover. Look, if you already let another man give you a makeover, you probably already gay to begin with. And then the way he makes him look so good as a woman, they end up falling in love. Is that even trans? Cause like well, I guess like he's now a man, but he's looking like a woman now. So I guess I made some. I'm not gonna touch that bullshit. I can already tell she's stupid.
Is for supporting falsely a narrative by other localizers that a cross-dressing character in a manga series was actually trans. She also
Exactly.
has petitioned to ban certain phrases because she thinks that they're not fit for Western audiences. She's
Who
also
the
the one who
fuck? I didn't even think of it that way. Who the hell are you to tell me what's fit for Western audiences? I'm a grown adult. I am a functioning human being. I decide for myself what should be within my, I don't know, graphs or what I want to digest, whatever media. Yeah, because this is stupid. You're not my parent, and I hope you don't have children, cause oh, I know gonna brainwash gonna be on 10. It's gonna be on 12. It's gonna be crazy within that household. But the whole idea that you're trying to act like somebody's, I don't know, dictator or parent or teacher or something trying to decide what people have access to, fuck you. I'm happy your job took.
was criticizing many shonen manga for catering to teenage boys. And it goes on and on and on. Even a situation where she was corrected by another translator for one of her mistranslations and referred to that person as a rando. Yeah, very entitled. And one of her latest hits from this year, she was responsible for localizing the Dog Girl anime. If you know, you know. And even with that
Fuck.
sort of a project, she couldn't help herself, inserting all kinds of Gen Z language like yeeted,
What?
that they got resting bitch face, and she'll be all up in her dress, and all these goofy, unnecessary things that just piss people off. And also, people pointed out her infamous support for these people off.
Sorry, I just want to make sure. I'm sorry I yeeted you. Any other time I'd love to be all up in her dress. Wait. So she talking about sexism and all this other bullshit, but then she's fine translating something that says I love to be all up in her dress. Nico Tani like she needs eye bleach. That doesn't sound good. I'm sorry, it just doesn't sound like any other translation or sub that I've seen before.
And she'll be all up in her dress, and all these goofy, unnecessary things that just piss people off. And also, people pointed out her infamous support for the mistranslations of this manga, where other localizers were trying to paint a cross-dressing male character as a trans character. She supported that openly and said the translations were correct. And no, she was wrong. And Seven Seas, who was responsible for it, came out and apologized and fixed these mistranslations.
It's so arrogant. These people who have the access or the ability to translate these other people's original pieces of art, no matter if you want to read it or not, these are these authors' original works. Have respect for it enough to just put it out there regardless of how you feel. Like, if the author had original intent, original vision, or anything else, that's how it should be written within the translations. Not your own beliefs or your own spin. Nobody gives a fuck about your beliefs. Write your own damn manga if you want to actually have that type of thing be expressed. Like, it is untalented, stupid, shitty ass people that want to hop on other people's stuff for the sake of this is how it should be. And I disagree with the original author, no matter if this is his story, this is his character, and this is who created it. You're not creative. You're not creative enough yourself to actually create a manga. Instead, you'll go change somebody else's work and put it out as better and say that other person is wrong. You can't even admit you're wrong or show any appreciation to the original work. It's just stupid. This is stupid and egotistic. And once again, you earn no sympathy, you get in karma.
Seven Seas, who was responsible for it, came out and apologized and fixed these mistranslations. And also, going beyond just Katrina, people don't forget, these are all just random tweets of localizers boasting about abusing their power and their trust as a translator. And I think this one really just sums it up the best. It says, the true joy of localization really is seeing what you can get away with.
No man. It's looking real sus. A little sus. But yeah, this dude crazy. Also, the true joy of localization, seeing what you can get away with. Yeah, that just tells me you don't care about actually translating it for the people that want to watch it. You just want to exercise your power for your own purpose. And it seems like you really just care about the power in of itself. you probably have some type of agenda or political ideology. But this tree alone just says you like the power, and you're an idiot.
And that attitude has been completely masked off for many years. Localizers have been openly saying this, openly saying that they want to get away with as much stuff as possible in their translations. And we all have seen this and we're aware of it and we don't like it and we are vocal about it, but they just keep doing it. So moving forward, other localizers had quotes to say like this: such disrespect for the substance of the original text is saddening, especially with a series as thoughtful as this one. Corporate greed knows no bounds, of course. It's funny to me also that the official tweet announcing this only mentions the AI part in Japanese. Shameless. Yeah, imagine disrespecting the original Japanese text. I can't imagine that, right, localizers? But some people replied to that saying, disrespect is when you can't force ancient memes and current year street slang into your Japanese media localization. Interesting argument. Honestly, this has been a long time coming and often deserved. And people were pointing out that this localizer has often inserted Gen Z language into different translations where it was completely inappropriate and didn't even make sense in terms of the story. So yeah, it makes sense that they would be upset about this. And here's another situation where a person was essentially saying, nobody wants to deal with localizers and you're kind of reaping what you sow. And that's why people don't feel sorry that you're losing your jobs to AI. Where this localizer said, imagine preferring something with results that will definitely be wrong and bad over once in a blue moon seeing a line about a woman or a gay person or some other nonsense that makes you mad for simply existing.
Once again, people trying to skew the argument or skew the point that the original person was making into some type of, I don't know, it's just another way to take away the value and the actual point of what the person is saying. The whole point is not the person has an issue with trans people or gay people or anything like that. Is that you change the original art and the original message and vision of the author. And the whole point of you doing your job is to translate, not recreate or remix or reimagine. Nobody gives a fuck about your creativity or your imagination. If people did, you would create your own manga or your own anime and people will watch it. But you can't. You don't. All you do is freaking translate somebody else with creativity. Let the people see what the author want to do, not what you want to do.
Remember, they don't give a shit about translation accuracy. It can be inaccurate as F, and they will never care. They will only care when that perceived inaccuracy collides with their conflicting worldview. Then they suddenly care a lot about accuracy. So number one, classic pancakes waffles situation. This user said, stop making low quality translations and inserting irrelevant things into your localizations. And that person says, oh yeah, I bet you're real afraid of gay people. It's like, what? What does that have to do with anything? It's like,
That's exactly how I be feeling when people do stuff like that. So you say, hey, like, waffles, no, bitch. You just recreated my whole sentiment. I just like pancakes. I could like waffles too. But the sentence I just said wasn't about fucking waffles. It was just about pancakes. But somehow, somewhere, I can't like both. Or I can't think two different things at once. People are really stupid or they're really deceptive when they do this stuff. Either it's a gotcha or they're generally so dumb they can't figure out, oh, I could use my brain to do two things at once. They're probably somebody that gotta stop and blink. They can't walk and blink at the same time because it short circuits their brain. Like, my goodness. And yeah, you could say me saying that and me being an asshole, but these people are so freaking dumb and that they're beyond dumb. They're arrogantly dumb. So I don't give a fuck.
it's a complete deflection of valid criticism about localizers and their products they've made over the past decade plus. And here's another tweet people are brutalizing right
Oh
now. I
my
took this screenshot
god.
last night. I
What
believe it's
the
gone from 400 quotes to well over 1,000 at this point. This aspiring localizer says, weebs realize the only reason they prefer subs is that it allows them to exoticize and fetishize a culture due to historical superiority complexes in cinema
Oh
that is
my god.
deeply rooted in racism, challenge.
Oh my goodness, yo. And now 206 dumb fucks. I agree with it. And oh look, look. It's so cute how these people do this stuff. Accounts more glee follows or mention can reply. Wow, you are so brave. You are so strong. You are truly a warrior of justice. You're so strong and idealistic and confident in your beliefs that you aren't willing to have people who disagree with you to have a discussion with you about it. You are worse than a dumbass. You are the dangerous dumbass. Like me on these people. Dangerous because instead of trying to have a conversation, they'll shut them up and put some type of label on them that makes absolutely no sense and don't even have the heart or the balls, you pussy, to freaking have a conversation about it. Fetishize a culture. I just like the freaking art. And a part of the reason why I like the art now, and I thought about doing this a video before I even thought about doing this video, is because I don't have to deal with none of this political stuff within it. Marvel and DC has been putting all this woke shit in their comments for the past few years now, and I'm tired of it. So I would go and watch manga. I go and watch anime, and I follow that stuff a lot more, way more than Marvel and DC now. Only thing that you could say is like American comics that I follow is the Ripperverse. I haven't bought his comic yet. I'm gonna buy it really, really soon. And he developed his stuff from the bottom up. He's being very successful. I think he's entering his second or third year now, but even still, he is breaking records. The art is amazing. He has legendary writers and artists working on his comic, like Chuck Dixon on it. So Eric July, Young Ripper, he is killing it with his comic, and that's the only American comic I give a shit about. Everything else, I'm focusing on Japan. And the whole idea that the reason why I give a shit about Japan media is because I fetishize it, like what, and historical superiority. Like, come on, man, Eh, what, like, come on, this is dumb, so dumb. Like, of course, not everything, but how many media from Japan crossed over into the United States and became big? Like martial arts, kung fu with Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan came over, but I don't think Jackie Chan is Japanese. But still, like, okay, let me just say Asian culture or Asian traditions or Asian media that cross over into the United States or to the West and has been popular because it's entertaining or it's fun or there's good things about it you can apply. Whether it's something like martial arts or I think yoga, unless that's like from India, but you still consider that, kind of like Asia in a way. But either way, the whole point is people like these certain things because they're worthwhile doing. That's why the people from those countries and cultures do it in the first place because it's enjoyable and worthwhile doing it. Why can't I do that as an American, even though I'm not Japanese? It just has to be me fetishizing it. No, I just love it. It is interesting. This is ridiculous. As much as these people talk about accepting other people for their beliefs, lifestyles, and cultures, and don't be racist, this, that, and the other, you love to just throw these labels on people or people who just genuinely like stuff. And it's stupid. And this is another reason why, like I said earlier, like I say many times, don't take these people seriously. A joke is made to be laughed at. Laugh at them.
Level impossible. This might be a contender of one of the worst tweets ever made. Even
Yes,
some voice
yes.
actors and localizers are coming on saying like, dude, come on. You're making us look bad. Please.
You could tell he probably in some type of fucking Reddit chain. They love using these big ass words and try to make these arguments that makes absolutely zero sense. Come on, man. Better shots of culture due to historical superiority, complexes and like, come on, just do your damn translation, you fucking loser.
Delete this. But yeah, here's a pretty good summation of what's been going on. This user said, translators be like, we need to make changes such as removing offensive content because it'll sell better. Blame capitalism, not us. But the only line change was a line that said, he's acting very suspicious to, he's being a sussy little baka. I mean, yeah, that's
The
exactly
fuck?
kind of what they're
What was a
actually
little
changing in
baka?
these.
That's weird. You can't just make it easy to understand. Even like I thought another job as a translator to make sure that everybody who is getting the information translated to, like that receiving audience, can understand it. But if I don't know what the hell a blow baka is, I'm gonna be confused. So like, what's the point of getting your translation if I'm confused reading yours? Like this is stupid. That doesn't make any sense. How about some? capitalism and my ideology and all this sort of stuff. You can't even do the bases. I don't understand what a sussy little baka is. Your translation is shit. Just keep it simple.
Localizations, they're taking completely normal lines and then adding in Reddit Gen Z language that makes no sense and people don't want to see it. And I made this response. This is kind of my final point of the video. I was responding to Chibi Reviews on Twitter, and if you don't know him, a great anime YouTuber, very nice guy too. Would definitely recommend checking out his content. But I made this reply about the situation that really sums up my feelings and a lot of people's feelings, where this is an outcome, the use of AI translations, is something that should not have had to happen. Like, we should have proper translations done by humans, but localizers have been messing around with translations for so long that they're now finding out the consequences of this, and they're seeing that nobody besides their own peers in the localization industry feel sorry for them. Yes, people who consume anime and manga do not like seeing AI translations. They would much rather see a proper one done by a human being. But localizers ruin that. And now when localizers are losing their jobs to AI, people are just not sympathetic at all. And they're just saying, you reap what you sow. But that's going to do it for this video.
Good video. I'm gonna have the original link down below and definitely check it out. He has a lot of subscribers, but adding just a few isn't bad either. In this last translation that they're showing, did I just give my bizarre take on fashion? Look at this. This is a translation somebody put. What? Did I just start mansplaining fashion to a literal pro model? So, like, this is an example of why translation matters, because in this version, it's not about him trying to be superior or anything like that. How these people say mansplaining is, whatever they think it is. It's not about that. He just giving this take, and he even saying it's bizarre. In this one, they got him saying he's mansplaining it. Like, come on, man. As if he feels superior because he's a man. These people are sad. They are pathetic, and not gonna understand why they're losing their jobs. And I don't feel bad for them in the least. Fuck you. You did it to yourself. Goodbye. You won't be missed. And I'm damn sure glad I don't watch any of these mangas or watch these animes or read these mangas, because if I did, I'd be pissed. Luckily, I keep it to, the bigger ones because time is limited. But either way, I feel bad for you guys. If you're actually into these type of stuff, just because I'm not into it doesn't mean it's bad or anything like that. So if you are into it and you had to deal with this shit, that sucks. Feel bad for you, but hopefully it can get changed. I'm not a big fan of AI taking over within certain realms, but this seems like it needs to happen, because the people that you trust to translate your work can't do that. Screw them. Go to the next best option. And it seems that it's clearly going to be AI. It's cheaper. It may be more efficient, especially as it get more developed. So it is what it is. In this case, it's not about people being pushed out for the sake of capitalism. It's because you can't do your job. You're too egotistical and too self-centered and politically driven to see differently. So fuck off. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Logos, and I'll see you next time. Peace.